What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to some of the dumbest things that Americans have ever said. So today, I want to take a look at some examples of the stupidest things that my fellow Americans have posted on the internet. And I know that Americans, we have a pretty bad international reputation, and I think a lot of it has to do with Americans posting stupid stuff like this. So today, I also want to call out these posts for what they are. Really, really dumb. So let's take a look at some of these, starting with this is a Twitter post where an American said, "We conquered Europe twice? Huh? Back to back World War champs. What? What is this? Are you kidding me? This is one of the stupidest things I've ever read. Wow. For one thing, besides being totally untrue, what an incredibly disrespectful thing to say. Oh my God. America conquered Europe twice? What are you saying? Back to back World War champs. Oh my God. This one is really bad. So they're responding to a Twitter thread about someone asked if you had 1 minute to tell a founding father about the last 250 years in America, what would you say? We conquered Europe twice. World War champions, back to back. So stupid. Obviously, completely untrue. Like, that goes without saying, but I don't know if this is like the ultimate trolling or if this is rage bait, because it's working. I am mad. I don't know if this American is. I think they're trying to make people mad, and it's working. So for one thing, this is so dumb that I even have to explain this. I don't think most Americans would agree with this. I am positive most Americans would not agree with this. This is so stupid. We do not think this. This American is a real idiot. Very special. A lot of the world wars had different European countries fighting each other. Whereas this makes it out to be like America came in and defeated Europe. That doesn't even make any sense. It's not even what happened, and it's disrespectful to what happened. And the men and women that gave their lives and fought and died, and all the Europeans that were involved. And another thing, America wasn't even a part of the world wars for several years. We didn't even send troops to fight in World War I or World War II for several years after they had started. So, I don't know. To say this is just so inaccurate in so many levels, and it's just meant to be disrespectful and rude and stupid. And it is. Okay. Wow. Wow. Let's keep going here. Is anything going to top that? That's incredible. When I put on a new show and hear a British accent, oh boy. There's Really? This is what we're getting upset about? Putting on a show and hearing an accent that is different from American accent? We're upset about that now? So, I haven't even read the comments yet, but I already know, so closed-minded. It really shows you what an incredible bubble we are living in America when you put on a show and it's from another country and people are getting upset. It's ridiculous. An American said, "Why can't they just talk normal?" This is These are gonna drive me insane or something. Why can't they just talk normal? That is such an American thing to say. As if the American way of talking is normal. That is such an American attitude to have, where a lot of Americans have no idea what the rest of the world is like, have no idea what other cultures are like. So, a lot of Americans who never leave the United States and never bother to learn anything about anywhere else think everything from any other country is just crazy and weird, and that's not normal. No. What do you mean they're not talking normal? If you're British and you have a British accent, that's normal for you. If it's a British show and they have a British accent, that's normal. That's the normal way of speaking for that person. If they're from France and they have a French accent, that's normal for a French person. If you're American and you have an American accent, that's normal. There's no, oh, only America is normal. That is such a incredibly closed-minded way of thinking. So somebody responded saying, it's our language. It's who you think is speaking incorrectly. Exactly. There is no, to say that another way of speaking or another accent is wrong is an incredible insult and so ignorant, and really just shows how dumb and like how you really have never been exposed to any other language or culture. It says way more about this American and how dumb they are. And someone responded again saying, no, the English made up their accent to sound aristocratic. Look it up. Americans speak with the original English accent? What? And that comment has a lot of likes, too. That's really disturbing. 124 people liked that. I don't know what to even say about that. This is incredible. And I don't think most Americans are this stupid. This is special. Seriously. This is like shocking to me. Embarrassing to say the least. But English, like England, literally it's in the name, created the English accent, the English accent. This is making me develop a weird accent just talking about it. England, obviously, like a lot of Americans came here from England or the parts of the UK and then developed the modern American accent. So much of this is so ridiculous. Okay. This post says, FYI, it's so incredibly sad that nowhere in Europe accepts American money. These are really bad. These posts, these really are some of the dumbest things Americans have ever said on the internet. And really, the common theme for all these posts is how Americans just have no idea what the world is like outside of America. That seems to be the main point of our stupidity. The main source is our ignorance of the rest of the world. Of course Europe doesn't accept American money. Just like America doesn't accept euros. And if you go to like Japan, they're not going to accept American money. Or if you go to Australia, they're not going to take American money. And we are not going to take an Australian dollar. And that's normal. That's literally how it works. But a lot of Americans think America is special, that we should have special treatments. Everywhere should accept American US dollars because that's the best currency and we're the best. We're special. It's like, no. There's a lot of other countries out there with their own currencies and their own way of doing things. And we have to accommodate how other countries operate. When we do business with them, when you travel there, you have to use their money. I shouldn't have to explain this, but There's just so many Americans who don't know how the world works. So they said the last time we were in Europe, American money was worth more. Now they don't even accept it. So Italy, Switzerland, and Paris won't take it. That's, for one thing, you can probably use a credit card if you have to. But this is common knowledge, or at least it should be. I think, it's just a fact that compared to European countries, you guys travel and are exposed more to other countries and currencies and cultures because Europe has a lot of different countries, next to each other. That's really cool. Here in America, America is like so big, and we're next to Canada and like Mexico, but most Americans just aren't exposed to other currencies or other cultures. It's just the truth. But even with that being said, that is no excuse. Americans should know this about money. You mention our money and squirm. And they squirm. It's a shame. They are our allies. This American got so worked up. They made this whole like Twitter post about how other countries don't accept US dollars, even though that is literally the way things have always worked with any country. Like you use the local currency. When you're in America, people use US dollars. Like they this is so bad. So this is the post that says passenger trains in the United States versus Europe. Wow. Yeah, this is the truth though. Here in America, we have like no public transportation system, no real passenger train system or rail system. You can see this like all over the United States. There's just like 4 or 5 different rails or something. Whereas in Europe, there seems to be hundreds. Like it's incredible. And I don't know why America doesn't develop more of this. I don't know why. Anyway, that's a whole different discussion. Somebody commented on this saying, because Europe is 1/3 the size of the United States. This American is so insecure about how Europe has a better passenger train system that he is making up fake stats about Europe and America. Europe is not 1/3 the size of the United States. Actually, Europe and America are very, very, almost exactly the same size, just very, very different. I think Europe is a little bigger, actually. Somebody commented saying, you are a proud example of the American education system. True. Europe is slightly bigger than the United States. Yeah, like 3 or 4% bigger, I think. So it's essentially the same, yet Europe has this amazing public transportation system and America doesn't. This American was trying to make an excuse like, oh yeah, Europe can develop all this because it's smaller. No, it's not. It's a little bigger. What? There's no excuse. What are you talking about? Some of these Americans are literally just making things up. That's a big problem. It's one thing to be ignorant and just to not know. That's okay. If you don't know, that's okay. You can be educated. Just don't make stuff up. Don't act like you know. Just be honest and say, I don't know how big Europe is. I don't know why we don't have a better passenger system. That's okay. You don't have to go on the internet and make stuff up. You don't have to do it. This is another post that says, no, because why have I just found out that Americans can't do bank transfers? That's why they use Venmo and Cash App. What? Americans can't do bank transfers. Yeah, we have wire transfers, but that's pretty, annoying and it takes a lot of effort. But it is true, here in America, we don't really have a good way of transferring money from a bank account to a bank account. It sounds like in Europe or other parts of the world, you guys have ways of doing that better than a wire transfer, I guess. So I think that's true. True statement. So an American had to respond to this. They commented and said, I bet Europeans, which they spelled completely wrong, I bet Europeans have to wait 30 or more days for bank transfers? What? They're so behind. Oh my God. I read that I read Europeans only just started getting credit cards with PIN numbers. Meanwhile, we're already on contactless credit cards. I love when Europeans try taking credit for a system we developed. This is right in line with how stupid all these posts have been today, and right in line with just Americans making stupid stuff up. What's up with this? What are people doing? I'm embarrassed for Americans here today. Europe, from what I understand, has been way in front of us in regards to credit cards that you can tap or contactless payments and using credit cards. And it took the United States a long time to get the credit card machines at all the restaurants and all the grocery stores and businesses. That's only been pretty recent. And why are we assuming Europeans have long bank transfer times? What's that based on? It sounds like, based on the first post, in America, we have to use apps like Venmo and Cash App. That's true, to send money to each other and our friends. Sounds like Europe has developed a better way of doing it. Let's take a look at one more here. Oh, wow, you live in the United States? And they responded and said, no, Scotland. And this American said, oh, that's interesting. How do you know English? Okay, I gotta stop. This is shortening my lifespan or something. I'm losing brain cells. This is like an American that doesn't know there are other countries in the world that speak English. Or maybe they just don't know that Scotland is an English-speaking country. I thought that was pretty common knowledge in the United States. I mean, I'm still going to defend us in that way and say most Americans are a lot smarter than this. But the fact that there are Americans here in the United States that are this dumb posting this stuff, that's crazy. That's bad. It's bad. But I'm glad to take some time and kind of set the record straight and talk about how stupid this stuff is, because it's not good, and it definitely shows how we have problems here in America with how some Americans just aren't educated, don't understand how the world works, don't understand how Europe works, don't know anything about other countries. That's very true, and that's a problem. But I don't know. On the same token, this was also entertaining in a weird way. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these stupid things that Americans have posted. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.